Did you know that nearly 40% of people who start dialysis could have potentially delayed or even avoided it with earlier intervention and a comprehensive approach to kidney health? That statistic should give us all pause because dialysis isn't just an inconvenience, it fundamentally changes every aspect of your life. Today, we are talking about something that weighs heavily on the minds of anyone dealing with declining kidney function: how to avoid dialysis, if that's at all possible. And I want to be very clear from the start, there are absolutely times when dialysis is necessary and life-saving. And I'm not here to discourage anyone from a treatment they truly need. But what I've seen in my practice at Holistic Kidney Institute is that many patients end up on dialysis prematurely without ever exploring the underlying causes of their kidney decline or implementing strategies that could have preserved their remaining function.
I'm Dr. Bismar Irfan, a physician on a mission to help you break free from symptom management and step into a life of thriving health. Together, we will uncover simple, powerful ways to prevent disease, restore energy, and take control of your health naturally. If you're ready to stop managing illness and start building vitality, you are in the right place. Your prescription for vitality starts now.
So today, let's dive into this topic with both hope and realism. Because if you are sitting here with the declining kidney function, wondering if dialysis is inevitable, I want you to know that you may have more control over your outcome than you have been led to believe. First, let's talk about why avoiding dialysis matters so much. Beyond the obvious, the time commitment of 3 to 4 hours sessions per week, each lasting several hours, dialysis comes with significant impacts on your quality of life. Studies show that people on dialysis have higher rates of cardiovascular complications, infections, hospitalizations, and depression. The 5-year survival rate for dialysis patients is only about 35 to 40%, which is actually lower than many cancers. And the financial burden is staggering, with dialysis costing between $90,000 to over $100,000 per year. And here's what's even more concerning to me as a physician. Once you start dialysis, it is very difficult to come off it. Your remaining kidney function often deteriorates further, and the focus shifts entirely to managing life on dialysis rather than healing the kidneys. That's where prevention and early intervention are so critical. Now, I need to address the elephant in the room. Not everyone can avoid dialysis. If your kidneys have failed completely and you are experiencing severe symptoms like uncontrolled fluid overload, dangerous potassium levels, severe uremia, or life-threatening complications, dialysis is absolutely necessary and can save your life. I would never suggest delaying emergency treatment. But what I'm talking about is the large group of patients who are told dialysis is inevitable when their kidney function starts declining without anyone investigating why it's happening or whether that trajectory can be changed. The conventional approach typically focuses on managing symptoms and complications while waiting for kidney function to decline to the point where dialysis becomes necessary. Blood pressure gets controlled with medications, anemia gets treated with injections, and dietary restrictions get prescribed. These are all important interventions, but they are reactive rather than proactive. They are not asking the fundamental question: what's causing the kidneys to fail? And can we address those causes? That's where functional, holistic, integrative medicine comes in. At Holistic Kidney Institute, we work with patients at various stages of kidney disease, and our primary goal is always to identify and address the root cause of kidney decline. But here's the truth. Your kidneys didn't just randomly decide to stop working. Something, and most likely multiple things, are driving that decline. And if we can identify and address those factors, we can often slow, stop, or even reverse the progression. Let me share what this looks like in practice. That actually reminds me of a patient I worked with about a year ago. a man in his early 60s who came to see me when his kidney function had dropped to about 18%. His kidney doctor had told him to start preparing for dialysis within the next 6 months and had already started discussing about access placement for dialysis. He was understandably devastated. He'd been managing his diabetes and blood pressure for years with medications, following a low protein diet as instructed, but his kidneys just kept declining. When we did our comprehensive evaluation, we discovered several things his previous care hadn't addressed. His gut health was severely compromised. He had significant dysbiosis with overgrowth of inflammatory bacteria and a very leaky gut. His inflammatory markers were through the roof. He had chronic low-grade infections that were driving systemic inflammation in his body. His vitamin D was critically low. His magnesium was depleted and his antioxidant status was poor. Despite taking blood pressure medications, his blood pressure was still running higher than optimal, particularly at night. And his diabetes, while appearing controlled on his standard labs, was actually causing significant ongoing damage at the cellular level. We implemented a comprehensive protocol addressing all these factors. We focused heavily on healing his gut, reducing systemic inflammation, optimizing his nutrition with therapeutic levels of specific nutrients, addressing his infections, and fine-tuning his blood pressure and blood sugar control beyond what standard guidelines considered adequate. We also worked on reducing his toxic burden and supporting his body's natural detoxification processes. Now, I always tell my patients that everyone's body is different and what works for one person might not be the right solution for another. Results vary based on individual root causes and what's driving the kidney decline in each person. But in this case, within 6 months, his kidney function had improved to 24%, and a year later, he was at 28%. He's now not on dialysis, and his kidney function is stabilized around 30%. His energy is dramatically better, and his other health markers improved. He's living a full, active life. So, what are the key factors we look at when trying to preserve kidney function and avoid dialysis? Let me walk you through the major categories. First, we need to understand that chronic inflammation is one of the most significant drivers of kidney decline. This isn't just the inflammation you see with an acute injury. This is low-grade persistent inflammation that damages kidney tissue over time. It comes from multiple sources: gut dysfunction, chronic infections, environmental toxins, poor diet, stress, metabolic issues. When we can identify and reduce these inflammatory triggers, we often see kidney function stabilize or improve. The gut-kidney connection is particularly crucial. Your gut microbiome directly affects your kidney health through several mechanisms. When you have dysbiosis, that is imbalance in your gut bacteria, and increased intestinal permeability, or we also call leaky gut, you get constant stream of inflammatory compounds entering the bloodstream. These include uremic toxins that your already struggling kidneys have to filter. And research shows that people with chronic kidney disease have distinctly different gut bacteria compared to healthy individuals, with more inflammatory species and fewer beneficial ones. By healing the gut, we reduce the toxic load on the kidneys and also decrease systemic inflammation. Blood sugar control is another crucial factor, and I'm not just talking about keeping your A1C below 7 or your fasting glucose under 130. These are good starting points, but they're often not enough to prevent kidney damage. We need to look at glucose variability, how much your blood sugar spikes and crashes throughout the day. We need to look at your insulin resistance, even in people without diabetes. Studies have shown that even pre-diabetes significantly increases kidney disease risk. At Holistic Kidney Institute, we often use continuous glucose monitoring for our patients so we can see exactly what's happening with their blood sugar in real time and make precise adjustments. Blood pressure control is similarly nuanced. The standard target is usually 130/80, But research suggests that for kidney protection, lower might be better, ideally around 120/75 or even lower if tolerated. We also look at blood pressure patterns throughout the day and night because non dipping blood pressure when your blood pressure doesn't drop at night is particularly damaging to kidneys. Sometimes we need to adjust medication timing or add nighttime doses to achieve optimal 24-hour control. Mineral balance is often overlooked but incredibly important. Magnesium, for instance, is crucial for blood pressure regulation, blood sugar control, and reducing inflammation. Yet, most people with kidney disease are deficient in it. Potassium gets a lot of attention because it can become dangerously high in advanced kidney disease. But adequate potassium early in the disease process can actually help protect kidney function and blood pressure. The key is individualized monitoring and adjustment. Oxidative stress, which is damage from free radicals, accelerates kidney decline. Supporting your body's antioxidant systems through specific nutrients and compounds can help protect remaining kidney function. This includes optimizing vitamin D, which is not just important for bone health, but also has direct protective effects on kidney cells and helps regulate the immune system. Reducing toxic burden is another crucial strategy. Our kidneys are constantly filtering toxins, and when we reduce that load, we give them a chance to recover. This means looking at environmental exposures, heavy metals, pesticides, plastics, household chemicals, and systemically reducing them. It also means supporting your body's natural detoxification pathways through liver support, ensuring adequate hydration, and optimizing elimination. Now, let's talk about testing because you can't manage what you don't measure. Beyond the standard kidney function tests like creatinine and GFR, we look at much more. We assess inflammatory markers like high sensitive CRP, homocysteine, and various cytokines and interleukins. We do comprehensive stool testing to understand gut health. We measure micronutrient levels, oxidative stress markers, and heavy metal burden. We look at insulin resistant markers even in non diabetics, and we assess for blood pressure patterns with 24-hour monitoring. This comprehensive picture tells us exactly what's driving each person's kidney decline. So, what can you actually do? Let me give you some actionable steps. Keeping in mind that personalized care based on your specific situation is always most important. First, work with a physician who will dig into root causes. If you are only being offered symptom management, seek out someone trained in functional medicine, integrative medicine, who can investigate deeper. Get comprehensive testing beyond standard kidney panels. Second, prioritize gut health. This means eating a diverse, plant forward diet rich in fiber to feed beneficial bacteria. Consider working with a physician on specific probiotic strains and prebiotics that your body needs. Address any digestive symptoms you're having because they're often clues to underlying gut dysfunction. Third, optimize your nutrition. This doesn't mean a generic low protein diet, it means understanding what your body specifically needs based on your labs, your symptoms, and your stage of disease. Some people need more protein, others need less. Some need specific amino acids. And remember, quality matters enormously. Focusing on nutrient dense anti inflammatory foods is important. Fourth, you have to address your blood sugar and insulin resistance aggressively, even if you don't have diabetes. This means reducing refined carbohydrates, managing meal timing, incorporating movement after meals, and potentially using supplements that support insulin sensitivity. Fifth, optimize your blood pressure. Control beyond standard targets. Work with your doctor to achieve tight control, including nighttime blood pressure control. Sometimes this requires medication adjustment or addition, and that's okay. The goal is kidney protection. Sixth, reduce your toxic exposure. Use a high quality water filter. Choose organic produce when possible, especially for high pesticide foods. Switch to natural cleaning products and personal care products. Avoid plastic food storage when you can. Seventh, support your body's detoxification. Ensure you are drinking adequate clean water. Support liver health with cruciferous vegetables and specific nutrients. Consider gentle detoxification protocols under professional guidance. Make sure you're having regular bowel movements. Eighth is address inflammation through lifestyle. Manage stress with proven techniques like meditation, deep breathing, or gentle yoga. Prioritize your sleep. Poor sleep drives inflammation and worsens kidney function. Move your body regularly in ways that feels good as exercise reduces inflammation and improves metabolic health. And importantly, be very careful about supplement quality. If you are taking them, because with kidney disease, you need to ensure supplements don't contain harmful fillers, heavy metals, or ingredients that could worsen kidney function. Work with a physician who understands both kidney disease and supplementation. Now, I need to give you an important disclaimer. Even though I'm sharing this with you, I am not your doctor and I don't know your specific situation. So always work with your healthcare team before making any significant changes. The bottom line is this. Dialysis isn't always inevitable. If you are in early to moderate kidney disease, you're likely to have time to investigate root causes and implement strategies that can preserve your function. Even in advanced kidney disease, some people can stabilize and avoid or delay dialysis. But it requires a comprehensive approach, proper testing, personalized treatment, and commitment to the process. At Holistic Kidney Institute, this is exactly what we do. We work with patients at all stages to identify their specific drivers of kidney decline and create customized protocols to address them. We don't abandon conventional treatments when they are needed, but we add layers of investigation and intervention that can make the difference between ending up on dialysis and preserving your kidney function. If you are worried about your kidney function, if you have been told dialysis is inevitable, or if you simply want to protect your kidney health, I encourage you to seek out this type of comprehensive care. Your kidneys have a remarkable capacity to heal when given the right support, and you deserve to explore every option before accepting dialysis as your only path forward. Remember, hope and action go together. Understanding these strategies gives you hope, but implementing them with proper guidance gives you the best chance at preserving your kidney function and your quality of life.
Thanks for tuning into the Wellness Focus with Dr. Bisma, where we are rewriting the rules of health and giving you the tools to thrive. If this episode spoke to you, please subscribe and share it with someone who is ready to take control of their well-being. Also, please consider leaving a review. It really helps people find the podcast. For more expert insights and resources, follow me at drbisma.com. Your health, your power, your vitality. It starts with you. See you next time.